This section of 1 John chapter 4 repeats a lot of the same structures and vocab that you've already seen, so you should be able to get into a bit of a flow with it. We repeat the verb theaomai that you had in the previous section, and then teleoo, and further down teleoo again, both in the perfect te teleortai. Now you also get the adjective teleos, used of love in the feminine telea. So where teleoo is complete or finish or perfect, the adjective is therefore going to be completed, perfected. You've also got pseustes, a liar, which is something you've seen compounded before, even if you haven't seen it as a separate word, and kolasin, meaning punishment. Those are the only words you need to sort out this passage, however. Thinking about its structure, you also get repeated en tutors in several places. For example, at the beginning of chapters 13 and 17. This gives you your sense of flow of argument, for this is the reason why, because of this, that gives you your logical work through. You see that logic continued occasionally through things like kai at the beginning of phrases, linking you back to phrases. After that, this section is peppered with hotties. Hottie, 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 hottie. Keep looking for them because they are absolutely everywhere, showing you how the passage all fits together. Some of them mean because, some of them mean that. So the first one, after gignoskamen, you can see after no, that, it's likely to be some kind of indirect. And then, after a comma, nothing obvious triggering it, it's likely to be a because it's explaining something. We see and we witness, and you can see that's going to be, again, a content kind of that. Throw out fear. Well, you need an explanation for why you throw out fear, because we love, for the next one, why do we love? Because, so that's also going to need to be an explanatory one. So it shouldn't be too difficult to work out what's going on with the becauses if you look at the punctuation and if you look at the trigger words like gignoskapen. You've got a couple of other little repeated things. So you've got two aeons. An aeon in verse 15 and another one in 20, indefinite conditionals. Both of them with an indefinite pronoun of some kind, tis and hos, in there, which you know they're going to need to trigger conditionals, subjunctives. And you've seen here, homologue so that's also repeated vocab from earlier, confess, and here in verse 20, a pair, aorist subjunctive of lego. And indeed another hottie giving you your indirect speech, or acting as speech marks, in fact, in this case. You've also got a couple of hinners. You've got a hinner in verse 17 and another hinner at the end. So you know you've got something to do with purpose going on in this clause, also governing a subjunctive. So this text is a series of related discussion points linked together by the becauses and the for this reasons, then explained using knowledge of both giving the that and the because clauses marked by the hotties, with those embedded indefinite conditionals and purpose clauses that you've seen that give further explanation and content to the message. It's a very similar kind of structure to what you've already seen going on, and you'll be able to see through the repeated vocab that these are repeated ideas. A couple of other bits and pieces that might help include things like in verse 15, you're going to want to repeat mene, because God remains in him and he remains in God, but we haven't repeated that verb because the idea is that you repeat it. Later on that is repeated, so you do get the extra help, but it's not always there. You get an awful lot of perfect still, egnokamen, pepisteukamen. I've already picked out teteleortai. So this is still very much about the perfect past state giving a present changed present, past action giving a present. That is all I want to say about this passage, because it is very repetitive. Your homer agapone, all of those article plus participles, the person who does something, hodef or boumenos. It's all exactly the same kind of things you've seen already. So go back and revise what you've done already, apply that to this passage, and I look forward to seeing what you come up with on it.